Howdy, folks. This is the Solo Gamer, and we are back again with some more retro gaming stuff from the arcade archives. I thought I'd show you some of the stuff I picked up recently from the arcade archives, starting to really run down that list of all their original stuff. But arcade archives still continues to be a gold mine of amazing crud. So anyway, this is excuse me. This is Blandia. Blandia is a unique fighting game created by display settings, display size. There we go. But it's made by Owlmare, I'm assuming. Yeah. Basically Blandia was a, shall we say, unique fighting game in its era, mostly known for its very clear anime influence and very specific artistic design. I mean, seriously, this game did not at all hide what its intent was. But one thing that did set it apart was the fact that all the characters have armor. Which means that all of them take injury once the armor itself breaks. It's also unique that there aren't a whole lot of super techniques or move sets. Like, the game doesn't have a whole lot of special techniques, and what it does have are fairly limited, but they are present. Like, she's got the largest one in the game because she, I guess, is supposed to be a magic user. But yeah, the game's style is so obvious. It knows exactly what it's doing. And honestly, don't mind one bit. Love it. But yeah, the game is definitely up there when it comes to oddities and weird out there stuff. But like I said, the biggest issue with the game is the lack of any specific like super moves or specials. It very much knows exactly what it's aiming to be. But it does work, and it's actually a good little brawler, especially for two players. But it's not what I'm here to show you today. In fact, it's not even close. Next, we're going to do the Aquajet Arcade Archives, which this is something they just released, brand new. Me, I love a good racing game, but I hadn't even heard of this. I was super curious. It's Bandai Namco. Yeah, no, I don't do motion functions. I don't like that nonsense. Accelerate. Yeah, it's super simple too. Like, the game does not. Yeah, let's give just the baseline a try.
Ready, go!
Yeah, we off. Okay. So yeah. Now the game does include motion controls if you want them. I don't really like that. I've got a controller for a reason. I'll use the controller, thank you, but this would I bet this was a hell of a lot of fun in the arcade because it actually had like an actual like full body. Whoa! Wave time. Whoa! It actually had like a full body layout where you actually had to like sit on the jet ski and stuff, which, fair enough. Nice. But this is the kind of thing I absolutely adore, is that this kind of stuff is actually being re-released to the public in a way that allows the public to get access to it where they couldn't have done it before. Big jump coming up. Nice. And I think it's important, like, not to let gaming have the same problem movies did. I think game preservation is a huge, huge, important part of our culture, and I think we need to make sure that these games are kept around for a long time to come.
Extended.
Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but the movie industry actually has a huge problem with preservation.
Jump contest.
From what I understand,
Yes. Yes. All right.
nice. But the movie industry has a huge problem with preservation. Pretty much 50 to 70% of the movies made
Go.
from back in like 1950 all the way up to about 1980.
Please
Almost
enter your
50 to
name.
70% of them. 50 to 70% of them are all gone. Like they cannot be found. Just gonna enter some random bull crap.
Game over.
But yeah, I bet this was a blast to play in the arcade. And here you can play it as much as you like. Now it's interesting that there are two different courses, and each one is more difficult than the other. So I think that's a pretty cool.
Ready.
I think that's a pretty cool feature, but it does mean the game does have a very limited layout. Like there's only one course, and there's just two ways through it. Not exactly a whole lot of variety. Good if you're doing time trials or testing your skill to see how good you can go. Now I should mention you can use the right thumbstick to raise and lower your front and back. So like if you want to get jumps on those waves, you can pull back to get jumps on those waves. You can also do it to give your regular jumps more boost and lift. And then you can also do it to drive yourself into the water when you come down from a jump, if you want.
Time extended.
Whoa, big whale. Alright. But yeah, the game is solid fun. And definitely something I would put a good amount of practice and time into. Whoa, what the? Oh. Went the wrong direction on that one, my bad. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, this game is a lot of fun, but it's basically just a straight arcade game. Nothing too fancy.
Extended.
Still, I could definitely have seen myself having some fun with this in the arcade back in the day. But I don't imagine it ever came to... I don't remember seeing it in any arcade I ever went to. Now, there were like jet ski games up the wazoo. But I don't remember this one.
Time extended.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna run out of time.
Jump contest. Yes. Yes. What a spectacle.
Everything coming up. Come on!
Goal!
Woo!
Congratulations!
Not bad.
Please enter your name.
And more random nonsense. Alright, so anyway. But yeah, it's a solid game, a lot of fun. Nothing too fancy, but it's not what I wanted to show off today. This is what I wanted to show off today. Now, back in the day, the Neo Geo was, and in many ways is, one of the most unique arcade games ever created. And it is arguably the game that I would say made the concept of in-home arcade a super desirable thing. Unfortunately, the platform that came to the home market, while to be fair, it did support full arcade, like just straight up, it did not have the financial stability to make it work because it literally cost $700. So if you wanted to play this at home, you had to fork over that dough. But Waku Waku 7 is one of the most unique fighting games in a system that was legendary for its fighting game market. A lot of people remember Capcom, but the truth is, Capcom had a rival, and that was SNK. Now everybody knows that the rivalry continues, but it's not. There's room for everybody in the market. But this was one of those rare cases where this game was unique among any other game in the series. And as always with these blasted games, the super attacks are the most ridiculous nonsense ever. But this game was legendary for being one of the best games of its era. It was also incredibly difficult. But it is, pardon the expression, it is anime as hell. And of course, Rai here is supposed to be your generic Shoto. But the game has EX supers, it has regular supers, it has wall bounces and ground attacks and all kinds of stuff. Stop talking history. I'm fairly certain a lot of this game's localization was a mess, but well, it is what it is. I'll ride my bike where I want. This is Tessie, the android maid. Or as I like to refer to her, the literal living definition of random bullshit go. Like, no joke. Here we go. There's the super. But yeah, the game is arguably one of the best from the SNK glory days. But it was also so strange out. It was so outlandish that I think a lot of people got caught off guard by it. Go Rai Thunderstorm. But yeah, each character had their unique special moves, super moves, a variety of different techniques and abilities, all very specifically geared towards their personality. Rai is all about the hot-blooded thunder. He is what he is. Crocodile Dundee. Yes, this is very much a combination of Gundam. This is a combination of a Gundam character, Crocodile Dundee, and a whole bunch of other nonsense. And yes, they were very aware of what they were doing. Of course, naturally being a product of the 90s, it has its share of hot girls, so, you know, that's always a bonus. But the game's actual fighting mechanics are solid. They're fast, they're intense. They work exceedingly well. And interestingly enough, like, the health pool is actually pretty good in this game, in that your health pool is bigger than you think. So you can actually take quite a bit of a beating. Is this the bonus stage? Yes. This bonus stage is a parody of Street Fighter because it's literally just dummy bag Ryu. What's unique is that you get unlimited superpower in this battle, but so does he. And yes, it is entirely possible to win this fight. It is also difficult, but it is entirely possible. Here he is, Slash. Emo McSword guy. Also, one of the better characters in the game, thanks to the unique style of his fighting technique, which allows him to sort of teleport around and be a real pain in the rear, but you can still beat him. He's not invincible. Walked right into it. Knew he would. But yeah, this is why I love this game and why I wanted to get it. Even though technically I could probably get it on a couple of different platforms. I got it on the PS4 simply because it was actually fairly easy to get, and the PS4 controls are really good for this for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, the whole deal with Slash is he's essentially meant to be he's essentially meant to be like the emo McSword guy of the game. Ah, cheesing your way through, you bloody coward. But yeah, the game is definitely worth playing, and I would highly recommend that if you're gonna get anything in the arcade archives and you're a fighting game fan, this is highly rated among my favorites. Plasma cannon. Walked right into it. Knew it. But Rai is, of course, very much meant to be the shonen pro tag, so you know he kind of stands out for that. And yes, if you're getting My Neighbor Totoro vibes, that is intentional. No, they do not dispute that. No, they aren't going to apologize, and no one cared. We were too enthralled by the tiny girl on giant monster kicking the shit out of us to really care about the copyright infringement. To be fair, like, the tiny girl giant monster thing is not unique to My Neighbor Totoro, but it's still funny that, like, this was such a blatant ripoff. Like, it's like, this was so obvious that it almost kind of made it too simple to note. But, like, check this. Plasma Power Punch. Ow, ow, stop that, stop that, stop that. Ow. I love how he's all mad and she's all freaking out. But the game is so charming. Like, I will be the first to say, for its era, it had a relatively limited roster, but every character has so much charm and personality. And I don't hold anything against it that it knew what it was doing. Nice. See what I mean? So much personality for these characters. I love it. That being said, I would say if you have a fight pad for the PlayStation, it's even better. But it works pretty good on the controller. You just gotta get used to the timing on the super moves because they require you have to have a very specific sense of timing. But yeah, it's very good, but it's also like the game's acceleration towards difficulty is kind of crazy. But like each of these characters has unique sets of special attacks. And you can do wake-ups like that. Wrong move. And you even get knockback if you get like a big final hit. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but there was supposedly a claim that the game had like a difficulty program where the game would learn the move sets you would try to use and then would try to actually use, you know, the game's internal AI to generate counters, which is nowadays that's pretty standard, but it wasn't exactly the case for a lot of fighting games back then. But from what I understood, this game reset the AI every time you moved to a new opponent, so it felt like a fresh fight. Whereas, like, there were other games where the game kept learning, and by the time you made it to the final level, it was almost impossible. Like, it was beyond difficult. Ow. yeah, learning how to use each character's moveset more or less is the key to victory here. Like any good fighting game, of course. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make you cry, but your big monster is trying to kill me. The Polytank Z. And I forget, this is a parody of something, and I forget what it is. Like Dominion Tank Police or something. But I don't remember the specifics on it. God. But like almost every character in this game is supposed to be a parody of something. And I remember hating this guy in the arcade. He was he was designed to be like he was kind of designed to be a beefgate. Like he was meant to be a skill test to see if you had the inherent skills needed to get through the game properly, but I just remember him being a cheap fuck. But yeah, I've beaten this game before. It's been feels like an eternity since the last time I beat this game. But yeah, one of the ways you can beat him is just to cheese him out. Force him to try and do either jump attacks or rush attacks and then counter him, but he is hard. And because he's constantly on the move, he will make it hard for you to build up charge to use your super moves, which becomes essential later on in the fight. Gotcha. It's also kind of BS that he has moves. Oh, didn't see that coming. But yeah, like I highly recommend Waku Waku as a series. Like just for the wacky silliness of it all. But it is arguably one of the better games in the series, like straight out. And it's also highly rated amongst fighting game fans for being one of those games that just out and out, straight out, non-stop fun. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Might do a little bit of Star Trek Online and then come back for some Helldivers later, but I will see you all next time. This is the Solo Gamer signing out, and I will catch you all then. Bye!